Is this guy really a doctor?
He is.
And he's got time to build model cars? Hi, I'm Michael Joy, founder of Shapeshifters TV, and we have a new series to introduce. We're making a few reaction videos. They're kind of overreaction videos. I don't like these peekaboo things where people see somebody hit the wall and they're like, ooh, and they make all these silly faces. I would prefer more of a constructive critique, something that leaves a little bit of information perhaps. I own several businesses, all of them are art-centric, and perhaps maybe there's a little intel that could be uplifting for everybody here. So the other thing is that these videos are all selected by either Kay or Pasha, two of my editors here, and they're in their 20s, I'm in my 50s, so this is a generation gap thing. Let's see how it goes. Kay, what do you got for me today?
We got Dr. Mike's house.
All right, Dr. Mike, I don't know who that is. 2.6 million views. That's a mystery. It's a nice house, but it doesn't look like it's 2.6 million views of a house. It must be about the guy. So maybe he's a real interesting guy. Anyways, the first thing I see in the thumbnail is it looks like it was built in a cornfield because they've cleared back these, all of these trees tremendously, only to have to reintroduce new landscaping. So let's see what's happening about that.
It's official. I've moved out of New York City and got a brand new house. I'm going to show you the outside of the house as well as...
It's legit a brand new house. It looks like new construction. I think it's a lot of grass to cut. And let's see.
Features inside the house, but more importantly, I'm going to share some of my biggest plans for this house. Welcome to Bear's estate. Come on in. Bear and I have put a lot of work into this place. No interior designers. This is this loser's guy's taste. So if you don't like it, you actually don't like my stuff. This is the official foyer? I don't know how to call it. I like calling it the entryway.
For me, this looks like a very nice house. If this is his first house in his early 30s, he's kicking ass somehow. Well done. So I'm gonna leave the guy here and the house here. So let's see, it's very neutral to me.
And right away, I wanted it to be known that when you come to this beautiful nature, the city is a blur. So we have a place to take off your shoes, beautiful plant. I've become a plant dad, not just a dog dad.
Foyers are really not for a place for taking off your shoes. They're the sort of the dramatic entryway that should be a little bit beautiful and setting the tone for the house. So the mudroom is where the shoes go, but it's his house. Put them wherever you want. Most people enter from the garage anyways.
This is a filming room. We like to use it as the filming room when I tell personal stories or we need a little bit more room on a couch.
Oh man, his lighting's great. It's good. The thing is oftentimes rooms that are made for filming are far more interesting on camera than they are off camera. However, in our building, it's just the opposite.
You have sent over the years, as well as some ancient medical books. And you'll also see I have a new hobby, building a model car.
Is this guy really a doctor?
He is.
And he's got time to build model cars? I don't know. Legos, for a medical mind, Legos would be like Einstein in a coloring book.
Cars, building Galileo's temple, sound panels on the walls to decrease echo. And this is pretty cool. My friend sent me this after my first boxing match with iDubbbz. It's actually really accurate. And wait, I'm pressing and nothing's happening. The battery's dead. The dining room. When we have...
Everything is extremely neutral in this point. Clearly the design stuff is clean and there's a lot of, you could live very comfortably in this house. However, when you're working with stock features, everything looks new at the same time, which means the whole house is gonna age out at the same time. I have yet to see any antiques or unique works of art in there. When you have those elements, they kind of soften the house and they make it time-proof. That, oh, you just changed the chandelier, but he's gonna have to change the whole room. And it looks like he's got a fancy wall back there. I don't know why.
Gather in here from time to time. We have a yucca. This one is
This house should be full of plants.
struggling, clearly. The things with yucca that you need to remember, that they don't need a lot of water. You can overwater them, and I may have done that to this one. This top level here is actually also acoustic foam paneling. I'm gonna show you the first bedroom of the house. This is for when Pam sleeps over.
Builders that are building affordable new construction, this looks like the house was not cheap, but it's also not at the level that these design elements are trying to say it's at the level of. The molding along the inside and the separate coloring denotes a finer home. But a finer home has wide hallways. The reason is in a big house, you're like, I have the space for it. I can have a big hallway, it's okay. This is tough to get a couch down this hallway.
When we're filming, Pam has a very big room.
Curtain trouble in this house.
Very abstract. So she got abstract lamps, abstract art,
Yeah. I feel this way about a lot of abstract art, is that it's just putting smears on the wall because you don't know what else to put there. There's a lot of remarkable abstract art, but it usually needs to be sought after, not come upon in a retail store. These chandeliers are going to date out immediately.
abstract light fixture. I'll show you the mudroom and the pantry, which actually is not.
Lighting matters in these big houses. If you look at these, they're little LED puck lights in the ceiling. They're nice because they're recessed and they're extremely low energy consumption. But if you had a cooler tone, some of them have settings and you can put a warm light on them. And they also sell LEDs that pivot. So he could create a more gallery effect here. Right now, the gray paint with the cold lighting makes this house look very sterile. Maybe because he's a doctor, he doesn't notice, and he's in this type of lighting all the time. But I would not personally be able to relax in that lighting.
Aptly named. Says pantry, really nice, nothing
That kind of decor just makes a little grandma.
to do with the pantry inside, just kind of like my hardware closet. This is the mudroom. A lot of Bear's gear is in here, so his pet shampoo, his toys are in here, his brushes.
You know, a big house with a big dog is great in the sense that you have space for it, but he's got a lot of land. There's gonna be a lot of mud in that dog, in that house, especially with the pool. Some of the nicer mudrooms that people who are dog lovers, what they do is they put a little dog bath in the mudroom so you can bring the dog in. I don't know where he's located, so I don't know the seasons. You know, you gotta be able to hot water that dog's, wash that dog down, because it's gonna go on the couch, it's gonna go on the stairs. There's a lot of house for this dog to have access to.
This is the garage. It's unfinished because I'm building my gym. Video coming soon. All right, next up we have the place where we all eat. The kitchen, simple. I love.
The kitchen actually is simple in the sense that it's all one color, but it's a nice kitchen. Again, I'm looking for things that show depth and color and texture, and the white on white on white, it's not dynamic. And these pass-through windows, they're gonna date out really fast. They're there for structural reasons.
Love simplicity. I love the cleanliness. I love the contrast off the floor. Amazing stove. Wish I use it more often, and I will for upcoming videos. Different ways to prepare food that I'm learning how to use. I feel like looking into my fridge is really personal, but it's probably valuable. A lot of hydration beverages.
That's how our fridge should look, right? The break room.
I'll actually have one right now.
You gotta go to Costco, bro.
Also, one of the cool gifts that I got from Legal Eagle not too long ago when we played tennis together, it literally removes the top of it so you could drink it. Sparkling water like out of a glass. High five on no sharp edges. Yeah, thank you.
These open gallery living rooms, they're very hard to decorate and they feel great to be in, but they're weird because of the lights, the light from the windows. You can't really control the lighting, and it looks a little bit like a Lego house in this regard, that they just stick these flat, non-textured windows on the wall, and he's got a lot of rectangles in here that, and it's a two-tone room. The railing's not great. But if you like it, you like it.
Don't you feel it's too dark there? Even like it's
Absolutely.
daytime, like look at how dark it feels, like really everything is so dark.
Yes, I see no floor lamps in this house. There's one, but it's lean. It's definitely lean. It could just be that he doesn't have lights on, but sound panels for art are really not really interesting. What happens in these dark rooms, per your comment, is that the outside light becomes so overexposed, and then with a dark wall, the eye physically doesn't know what exposure to choose. Even his camera is struggling. It's overexposed inside, overexposed out, under, in. The brain is doing the same thing. And what that has done, in my experience, is I get very fatigued easy, is that I'm lights, dark, lights, dark, light. It's like a strobe light in my own house.
Obviously, there's a burger for Bear, but then also, a fireplace. I don't know where the remote is.
So he's a young guy, and I'm thinking young guys have kids, and this is a hell of a house to childproof. I mean, it's a lot of stuff.
But that's the fireplace. This is more room than I ever had in my life. Childhood home was welfare housing in Brooklyn. Then we were lucky enough to get a slightly bigger home in Staten Island. That's where I lived during high school and part of residency with my dad. Now I have this monster home. Let's go upstairs and see the rest of it.
A monster home is really remarkable if it's a dynamic monster home. This, to me, although it has all the things that a family would enjoy having.
We have a large bed. Curtains were a disaster. I had no idea how complicated it is to do curtains.
You'll spend a lot on curtains.
But I found out that the higher you put them, the more elegant your windows look. So you get really long curtains. They actually need to touch the floor. Some people don't, but apparently that's stylish. I don't know. You have my watches. This really cool little plant. I don't know the type of plant that is. I need to look that up. You've seen the bathroom routine before, so you know what this room's all about.
A woman would want a bathtub. A woman who bathes in the bathtub in that romantic Hollywood way, she's going to want a place a ledge to put her bubble bath, her wine, the candles, and these are like a horse trough. I call these troughs. They're very popular. They look kind of graphically cool, but they're very, very low functional. You can't even sit your ass on the edge to swing your legs in. And where do you put your towels? You gotta slip and slide out to get out of these. Our bathtub has a big walk around it. It's surprising. We just inherited that design, but.
Move on over to our workspace. Most people would make this area a chill space.
So I'm not sure what makes someone choose squares. There's the rectangle of the TV, there's the rectangle of the monitor, there's the rectangle of the coffee table, the hallway, the molding. Everything is a bunch of sharp lines. And if you're not sensitive to that, it's the perfect house for you. I myself like a little softer edges. And if your house doesn't have soft edges, let your furniture have some.
But for us, this is our chill workspace. So Sam and Dan sit here doing some edits.
He hasn't gotten to the art
yet on the walls. I gotta show you this cool feature. Sorry, Dan, I'm gonna throw your stuff. But look at this.
Maybe it's just not his thing.
When you're editing or you need a little computer area, how clutch is that? I thought that's really awesome. You have a very functional.
You don't need a foosball table in your bedroom. If you're playing foosball in your bedroom, you're dead on the inside. I mean, seriously, that's a nice room for something else.
Shui room. Some of my art from New York City has made its way here.
Okay.
Something they used to see in that previous apartment. My shelves, Teofimo signed that. Cambosa signed that one. Some really cool things that I...
Big houses, when they talk about housekeeping, I have a big house myself, and housekeeping isn't as bad as you think it is if there's not a lot of people in there, but dogs hit a house really hard. The other thing is what becomes all these objects, objets d'art, you know, objects of art, is they get dusty. And then you spend a lot of time dusting all of these little objects of interest. And they're nice at their storytelling. I mean, it looks like a dickhead right there, but what do I say?
I've collected through my travels. The most Hampton room. You see the bed is cream, the carpet is cream, and you have a mirror here, a console, some decorative pieces, and a little je ne sais quoi. Look at this. Curtains, gray. Lamps, gray. Bed, gray. Bed, cream. Floor, cream. What's up? The room in the house where we do the most work. The studio, where we film and make all the YouTube videos that you see every single day. We have Harry here, who's Bear's best friend. We have the logo that you see in the backdrop, plant that attacks me all the time, some bones. Oh, the 10 million subscriber plaque. Check that.
10 million subscribers?
Actually, in the back it says,
I mean, good job, bro. That is a big deal.
It's also really heavy. We have some Frontline Hero bobbleheads, all the mugs that you've sent, really cool stuff. Here we have all the lights, the cameras, the microphones, my computer. I have my awesome chair here from Secret Lab. And this is where I spend a lot of time.
What's with the up hair? I see that it's very popular for young guys to have the up hair.
The beauty of getting out of the city is that you get a lot more room, and a lot more room for activities. My goal here is to take this giant space here and potentially create a tennis court and or basketball court, or maybe like a combo of both. That's a dream, but I think it might just become a reality. Also, notice that there's a steep incline here. What do boxers do? They like to do hill sprints. Let me show you one of my favorite HIIT workouts.
He's in good shape, this guy. You know, those roundabouts, those UPS trucks, everybody hits that stuff. I got one at my house, and it's like, you hit the roses.
I've officially fallen in love with landscaping and gardening. I started buying all sorts of different shrubs, bushes, and trees. This is my holly. Don't eat these berries. They're poisonous. I've taught Bear not to eat them. Hope he doesn't. And obviously, this is my sauna. There is gonna be a full sauna video because we have to talk about the health benefits of saunas. All right, I've never been one who's too fond of having a pool, but now that I have one, I gotta say, it's pretty awesome.
It is.
I love being able to come out here and take a dip. You know who also enjoys taking a dip? This guy. This is a saltwater pool. It has a little bit of chlorine.
Salt water's great.
But much less than a typical chlorinated pool. In general, having a lot of chlorine is not great for your lungs. There's even been some initial research, nothing proven.
A lot of sunburn is not good for you.
Now, the Newfoundland is actually a legit water animal. He also likes to eat the water a little bit when he swims. And you also have to really be careful because he can scratch you completely by accident.
Oh my God, he's like a giant Mark Twain rat. Okay. So,
every time.
big houses are a lot to take care of. We started this series called Mansion Hunting. And one of the first things we did was we made a video about not what it costs, but what it takes to take care of a big country home and all the things from the care of the fountain to the landscaping. It's a little fascinating, but the show Mansion Hunting is really about more the mindset of the homeowner and using the law of attraction to generate abundance and wealth and things like this. So, but I have learned that a big house does require a lot of attention and you need a team. My take on this. So this is the unique thing about YouTube is where a doctor was just a doctor and what used to be valued about the doctor is how good of a doctor he was. Now what's valued by the people that are not his patients is what he can talk about his daily practice. You know, his practice can extend through example outside of the doctor's office, the hospital, you know, by showing a case that's happening, maybe it teaches somebody that's going through it. So there's this wonderful opportunity to share and expand beyond the walls of the office. The other thing is he's allowed to share some of his personal life. I think that that's going to be a tricky balance for him, but he's at 10 million subs already, so something about this says he's figured it out. And I think it's wonderful that somebody can be both a professional and somebody that shares some content. For me, the content wasn't that interesting as a house standout. I think what was interesting is his enthusiasm about the house is sincere. I mean, he's really worked hard to have this studio. It's what I call a working residence. And that's not nothing, right? There's a lot of people that would like to step into that. Good job, Mr. Mike. I don't know your last name, but that's a hell of a first home. And I hope that he's able to share it with a really wonderful, appreciative family